Dun dun. What? The intro song gets me every single time, and it's gonna keep getting me because, I mean, the groove is just is it is dot. You fill in the blank. Welcome back to another episode of One Billion Brave. Can y'all tell? Like, I have my VA energy, so the energy is at a 13. It was at a 10 before the show, but it just rose up just that much higher. Now I'm in like a 13. And then when my guests come out, I'm gonna be at a good like 14.2. So we in there like it's okay. Y'all got it. Welcome back to another episode of One Being Brave. I'm your host, Domo Jones. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Y'all straight? Y'all straight? Y'all good? Like, I am so excited to be here, but I'm also excited that you're here tuning in to see what we're talking about. Like, y'all some real ones. And for that, I'm grateful. All right, so let's get into the church announcements. No. House rules. Church announcements later on. Let's get into the house rules. House rules. No bashing. Wait, first, before I say that, no profanity. What? It's too many words. Like, way too many words. And guess what we're about to do? Use them. Period. No bashing of race, religion, gender, politics, or sexual preferences, because one blood he made all the nations. So pretty much like, hi grandma, pretty much like y'all kinfolk, like y'all fam. What's up, aunt? What's up, cousin? All y'all invited to the barbecue. And tell them I sent you. Who gonna check for me? Oh, okay. Who gonna check for me? I'll hold. And while I'm holding, huh? We do talk about Jesus Christ on this show. I don't know what y'all do over there. But as for me in my house, on this show, he the main thing. My guy is top tier. I don't know. Just have a little taste. Have a little talking to you, talking about your troubles. Huh? He'll hear your friend and cry and answer what? By and by. Okay, because y'all know. Because y'all already know. Jesus Christ is about to be talked about all up and through this show. He the main thing, so we're going to keep you the main thing. Also, this show is called One Being Brave. I am really like on the 13. Hi, Tanya. Love you. This show, stay focused, Domo. Don't, okay, it's too early to be showing out. Act like you know what you're doing. You've been doing this for a minute. All right. This show is called One Being Brave because it represents the 1 billion people of the world that have a disability and or medical condition. So for the old heads, you already know what I'm about to say. The newcomers, catch on quick. Get you one of us in your circle. Don't get you me, but get you one of us, because I'm telling you, the people that are in the disability community, we are top tier. I mean, like, we're a part of the elite, is all I'm saying. Get you one of us. I'm gonna say you're welcome, because thank me later. All you just need is all you just need, just one of us. That's it. That's it. Get you one of us. I'm telling you, it's a lot of perks. I'm fill you in. It's a lot of perks with being with someone in the table community. Oh, taste and see, mother. Okay. Oh, you taste it. Taste it. Child. Whoo-wee. Don't get me started, cause y'all know I got an old soul. I got an old soul. Also, last church announcement. So why I keep saying church announcement? This is not church announcement yet. This is the house rule. Last house rule is, this show is one of the shows that has a hostess with a disability that interviews guests with disabilities and medical conditions, and or caregivers, and or those that are in the profession of health, mental health, all that education, the wisdom. Okay? We're trying to help y'all. We're trying to learn y'all one time for the one time. So with that being said, in addition to nevertheless, thus, and so, that means that Lady O, Tyler Perry, and Mother Ava DuVernay, I'm coming to see all three of y'all. It's about to be a trifecta type vibe. Lady O, I'm coming to the house. It's getting a little sunny. Okay. The weather is lighting up a little bit because out here I don't know what this weather. What spring? Speak up. Speak up. Talk. Can we talk for a minute? Because I want to know your name. Huh? Can we talk just for a little bit? I want to know your name because right now I don't know what you hiding for. Come on out. Come out of that corner. What? You can't hide. All right. Lady O, I'm coming. We come to the house. We can even go in the kitchen real quick. Just give me some fruit snacks and a Gatorade. I'm straight. Then I'm gonna go up the street real quick to Tyler Perry's house. We're gonna chop it up. We can go to your house. We can go to the studio. We can go to your pilot center. Like, it don't even matter. You just send me your location. Then we're gonna hop up 3 blocks to the left, make a left real quick, and then we're gonna go to Rockefeller so me and Mother Ava DuVernay can get our locks done, and we're gonna chop it up. You feel me? Like, it's so simple. Boom, boom, boom. Like, that's it. And then after that, well, it's not even after that. Before that, I'm introducing myself right now. Hey, y'all, I'm Domo. Nice to meet you. All right, now that we got the logistics out the way, we can get to keep the main thing. Because we're here to talk. You feel me? Because we're here to talk. 103. First of all, that's a little too hot. That's musty weather. It's a little too hot. I need to be like in the 80s. 80 type vibe. All right, so let's get into the Braveheart. Who the Braveheart gave? Let me get it to me one time for the one time. Okay. Okay. So the Braveheart for this week is, and her disability / medical condition is she is a quadruple amputee. Okay, but look, here's the thing. The dress is dope, and can we look at the background? Like, come on. It's the scenery for me. And she's so beautiful. And I like, Gabe, can you move the title real quick? Because I want to see her legs. Thank you. Okay, because it's gold. It's giving very much so gold member. And she got sneakers on. And you know, me and Sneaks, we like to peek. I don't even know how that even matched, but y'all get it. Me and Sneaks is for the elite. Y'all understand what I'm saying. Anywho, thank you to it is you are the Braveheart for this week. You're super dope. Thank you for not only expressing who you are, but living beyond your condition and showing people that, yeah, you got your issues going on. We all do, but you still standing strong. I'm still standing. I'm still strong. You feel me? What the shoulder's doing? I'm still standing. All right, so let me just this is an announcement. So govern yourselves accordingly. So for those that don't know, I have written a few books. Okay, so with that being said, to those people that have come to me and that have asked me, when are you writing another book? I am not writing a doggone another no. I have completed that season. And do not say that the Lord has told you. And if he has, I need you to stand in agreement with saying, Father, why has I forsaken me? Because she is done with this season. It is time for her to elevate. Okay? I'm not writing another book. Ciao. And then here's the thing. This is the thing. I don't even know how to be a real good author. Like, y'all know them authors, they got the t-shirts, they got the pins, they got the signs, they got the backdrops, they got the tablets and the pins promoting the book and all that. Hey, this is author. I ain't got none of that. Let me keep it a buck. I ain't even read the books that I've published. I haven't even opened them up myself. Like, I don't even know how to be, I don't know how to be a good author. So my season, I did it because I'm a goal orientated person and I thought about it and I wanted to do it. And I accomplished my goal more than once and about 5 times. Now it's time to go to a different level. And the other level is not writing another book. So for those, I know God is like laughing in my face because I said that 4 books ago, and here I am on book number 5. But not my will, but nevertheless, nevertheless, not my will, but God's will. So if y'all see me with another book out, just know that it wasn't my will. But my flesh want to say no. Okay, I am good, thank you. It's time to move on. But not my will, but God's will. That was the announcement. I don't know if it really came through though, because I just thought about it. God gonna do whatever you want to do. Huh? Well, there's that. Okay, so my next guest, I'm super excited. I'm super excited because this is my girl. Well, actually, here's the thing. She's actually my mom's friend, but this is national news. She's actually my friend. So she was her friend until I was here. So then she became mine. So kind of being a little stingy, but I have a right to. I'm super excited that I asked her and she no hesitation. I love guests that just have no hesitation, like just to come on and talk. And I feel like what she's going to give is very like vital information, and it's something that's needed that a lot of people don't know about. So we're about to bring her on. Are y'all ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready? Is you ready? Okay. Jocelyn, come on, gracing the stage. Let's go. What?
You are so funny. So funny. Hey, my sister.
Hey,
Uh,
Rocky girl, love you.
you are hilarious.
Listen, what has changed
And,
ever since I
and
became?
by the way, let's clarify some things.
Uh-uh.
Your mother and I are family.
You're right.
Now she's younger than I am, but it was the
Y'all
mixes
locked
in the Smiths.
in.
And
Right. Y'all locked in.
lot
Y'all are definitely locked in.
all of us. There was
But
one
now
person for every
uh,
one of them.
that's all of them, right? So true. All right, so let's get into it. So for the people in the back, can you tell us where you're from and what you do?
Are you talking to me in particular?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for the people in the back. Okay, so I am from California. I presently live in Texas. However, I still do work in California. As a matter of fact, most of my clients are there. I am a retired educator. I worked in the school system. whew, I was trying to think about probably 45
Wow.
years. Um, and though I'm not working in a classroom or in a capacity at a brick and mortar, I'm still working in education. But I started out as like a peer tutor,
Really?
office aide, teacher's aide, yard supervisor. I've pretty much done every task. And then of course, became an educator, and got my master's in educational administration.
Mm-hmm. That's super dope, man. Like you started from the bottom, now you're here for real.
Yeah, I did.
Man. So who do you specialize or who do you cater to mostly in your education?
Well, everybody I cater to. However, it seems to have been God's divine plan for my niche to be in special education. I was a special ed student. I taught at the very school where I was a special ed student. um,
Really?
yes, I have
Wow.
dyslexia, but when I was growing up, no one had a name for it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I didn't even know the name for it until I was in college, where I should not have been. That's a story. I shouldn't have ever been in college, because I graduated from high school with a 1.9 grade point average. Yes, ma'am. And but
Wow.
God's plan is
Okay.
perfect. And when he has a plan for you, there can be roadblocks, but he can move them out of the way. And I can give testimony after testimony on my journey
Yeah.
to get to where I was. And
Right.
while I was in the system, I saw his hand. I mean, it's been a blessing. But yeah, that I think I was the full inclusion teacher when I was in the classroom. At
Hmm.
one point, I had 10 students who were being mainstreamed from the autism program.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, yeah, I was fierce. Now, I think the thing about me is, even though I may see you have um, a need, I'm not a coddler
yeah.
and I don't play.
Period.
When you came to me, you didn't leave the same way you came. When your IEP said, these were your goals, and I looked at him and said, that's not enough, we elevated. Nobody left my class. I don't care how you came in. And
Yeah.
had I had a lot of different, but none of them left the way they came.
So how did you create your system to make sure that everyone got the best out of what they needed to go on?
I honestly believe it came from my own experience. I remember being in special ed and being in a speech
Mhm.
class and thinking, I can talk.
Right.
I mean, there was everything they were doing. I was like, I can do that. I
Yeah, yeah.
can do this. What the other kids were doing, but I wasn't allowed to do, or wasn't expected to do, I should say. I used to think I could do that. I could do that. So it was like in my head, but I came up in an era where children were seen and not heard. So I wasn't
Hmm.
given the power to speak.
Yeah.
I didn't
To
have
speak.
that, but I knew I could do it. And
Hmm.
so I never put, I guess, boundaries on my kids in that area. You know, I always had high, lofty goals for them.
Yeah.
Um, but I had a plan as
Right.
to how to reach the goal. And because of my disability, when I was in school, um, you basically just got relegated to a particular group,
Hmm.
but nobody really did anything to fix it. So you had to learn strategies. And it's what's hilarious that things, especially in math, that strategies that I figured out in my own head
Hmm.
that I would do, like make 10 and then count on. I did that myself. No one taught me, but
Really?
now they literally teach those strategies in the classroom.
That's
It's mind-boggling to me.
right.
Like,
Right. Okay,
that
let's
was
go back
my
though.
idea. And now it's in the
Right.
textbook. But it shows me that everybody's
Crazy.
mind will eventually,
Yes, catch up.
yeah, you can figure it out if pretty much left to yourself. You're gonna figure something out if you want to.
Right. Let's go back because I want people to understand like where you came from. Can you tell people what dyslexia is for those that don't know?
Well, there dyslexia, but this is the other thing people don't know is that dyslexia is um, there's a spectrum.
Hmm.
There's a spectrum, and I'm not severe. I'm probably moderate. And so basically, when I was growing up, they used to print words on white paper. So for
Hmm.
me, the letters would rise and float. That's the
That's
way.
see
That's
them.
literally, if I was looking at the paper, if it's white, they it was as if they would come up off the page and float around. They weren't anchored. And literally, I can give a testimony about how I got into college, which I shouldn't have ever been. Um, it was in college where one of I had to take remedial courses.
Really?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to give it real quick. I always wanted to go to college. It was I wanted to be an attorney.
Yeah.
Better didn't know me. No, I would have been a fire. Well, I'm an advocate now, so I'm
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to do what I do. I wanted to be an attorney, but no one pushed me. And
Hmm.
so I was living in a condo owned by um, a family. If I said their names, you would probably know them. They knew it. And then they wanted to sell the condo.
Hmm.
So I needed to show the condo to different people. And people were coming to look at the condo. And one person who came, I'll never forget his name, was Richard Diaz. He worked at Cal Poly Pomona.
Mm-hmm.
He worked in the Career Center. He was a homosexual, and so everywhere he went, he was denied. When I guess when they
Mm-hmm.
showed up together, eventually, and this is like I'm in my 60s, so this was like when I was in my
Yeah.
early 20s. So he was denied. And so we just first I had to interview them, ask them what they did. He told me what they did. And I was like, oh, I always wanted to go to college. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, you get me the condo, I'll get you in school.
Even trade.
Miracle number one. Well, that was easy.
Right.
Because I just told, well, I call her my cousin. I'll tell my cousin, give you the
Yeah. We got one.
because, and she was an educator, and they lived in far northern California. And I told her, if you let him in this condo, he's going to get me in school. So that was like a done deal. She was
Yeah.
going to make sure I got into school. So I
Right.
had to take a whole year of remedial courses before I could take college level courses.
Wow.
So then, one of the English teacher, it was in that class where I was struggling, and but I knew I could do the when I'm an auditory visual learner, but you can't put it
Mm-hmm.
in writing. Don't do that. You can tell me about it. You could tell you can and show me something. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm a kinesthetic learner. I have to be
Mm-hmm.
doing something. I have to hear it
Mm-hmm.
and I have to see it. But that writing thing, you can have that. And so she noticed. She's the one who said, "Wait a minute." And she says, "I'll see you next class." At another class, she brought me. Do you know what transparencies are?
Yeah.
Okay. She brought me a colored transparency to class, and she put it over the paper. And mind you, I had all of the services that was afforded to
For
someone.
the, yeah.
I still didn't even know what the name of my condition was.
Mm-hmm.
All during school, nobody told me what I had because they didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she gave me a colored transparency, put it over the book, and it anchored the words for me. and I could,
Wow.
isn't that crazy? And now you will see most textbooks are written on tinted colored paper. It's not
Yes.
white. And
Not white,
that's
white.
one of the reasons why.
Not white, white. That's so true. And even they have the option when you want to publish your own book, they
Mhm,
don't offer white, white anymore. They offer white, off white,
mhm.
or like a beige.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
that's why I did not know that.
Yes. So that was miracle number two. A whole
Wow.
year of not college level. I think it was 90, like in the 90s. Then the class numbers were
Hmm.
96 or 95. So it was remedial math, but I could do it all. No,
Yeah.
I got straight A's once we got to the bottom of it,
Hmm.
and didn't really struggle in college at all, except in science. But don't tell
But
nobody.
'cause that's science. Mm-mm.
It was my brain just didn't click, but now I could teach it like that.
Really?
Oh,
Okay, so are you good in math?
I'm good in math, and I wasn't then, but I was good in math. But I had a phenomenal professor at Cal Poly. I mean, this woman taught me by
Yeah.
example how to be a teacher. She didn't realize she was teaching me
Wow.
and she was never critical. She was always concerned. Dr. Carol Annette Smith Thomas. I'll say I wrote a whole poem about her because she changed my entire life. Just just a woman of class and grace and
Mhm.
patience. I wasn't getting regular fundamental math stuff. And she didn't have a problem. And she could switch on a dime her strategy. If this strategy,
Mm.
and that's who I learned it from. If
So
you
do you use the different type of strategies on different students that you have based on what they need?
Yes, and my strategy could be something based on what I see is happening and be based on my experience. I and my It's divine. I'm not gonna even lie. Literally, I could be at the board doing something and they're not getting it because I'm constantly checking for understanding. And I'm a teacher
Mhm.
who believes that 10 lessons learned. It's better
Mhm.
than 100 forgotten. So I don't present lessons. I teach lessons.
Mhm.
We're not moving on until at least 80% of the class got it. And
Wow.
the 20 that don't get, they get broken up into small groups. That's
That's
no more.
good.
It's no more because now it's like 80% of them don't have it.
And
And nobody's
20%.
really concerned about them. So they
Yeah.
gonna just work with the 20%.
Yeah. Okay, man, that's good because that's unheard of now. These teachers don't really care about the
Mhm.
students like that. But when it comes down to the special ed part of it and the parents,
Mm.
how do you teach because when you're in class, when you're with your teacher, it's something different compared to going home and continuing on that strategy, right?
Mhm.
So how do you teach the parents to to not really teach but instill what you taught them, what you taught the students?
I At first, early on, I didn't. I didn't. I literally, my motto was teach as if you are their only source and resource
Mm-hmm.
of education. And
Mm-hmm.
I did that for years, years. But I did have a good working relationship with I established good working relationships with my parents, especially in the special ed community. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of my students, especially Black and Hispanic males, came on Ritalin.
What's
Mm.
that?
It's a medication for hyperactivity,
Okay, okay.
and I'm gonna tell you that God covered me because I literally met. I made I want bets with the parents because when they would come to class, it brings the kids way down, and sometimes they would fall asleep. So I wasn't getting anything done.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a motto: um, if you fail, I fail, and I don't fail.
Right,
So
right.
you can't be in my presence. You can't show up in this seat every day
And
and
fact
fail. That's impossible.
that.
It's like because I took that as a personal affront. And
Yeah.
my other thing was students don't fail, teachers fail.
Yeah.
They are your responsibility when they're in your classroom. And if they come every day and they're not moving, I don't know how a kid can sit at second grade, come in and not know the alphabet, but they're there every day, but they leave your
Right.
class still not knowing the alphabet at
Right.
second grade. That's all. But now they're being relegated to special ed.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
Mm. Yeah, God covered me because principals didn't like me, other teachers didn't like me, the district didn't like me. Because what I
Oh,
do is
man.
I'm
Yeah.
an educational consultant, family advocate.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is basically to equip the community, the schools, and especially our families with the tools they need in order for their students and all the stakeholders
Yeah.
to be successful and thrive, not
Right.
survive, to thrive. Um, so I got in trouble a lot,
A lot, a lot, a
but
lot.
God.
Okay, he kept you because he knew that you were essential, like you needed to be there.
And I didn't know any better. Literally, my mama used to say, and she might still do, God covers old folks, babies, and fools. And I wasn't old and I wasn't a baby.
I was a fool, so I was in the top.
I guess.
I was in the top
I
three.
was like, oh, okay. So I would do some things like, first of all, challenging the parents. Let me get back to this. I would challenge the parents. I'd
Yeah.
say, please I'd ask questions about the child and why they were on the medication. What were
Mm-hmm.
behaviors that were being exhibited, prior to being placed on. And all I heard was, he's bouncing off the walls and and so really all I heard was, oh, he's being a kid. Oh, okay. So can you do me a favor? Can you take him off the Ritalin?
Yeah.
If you take him off the Ritalin and I don't move him from where he is at least one grade level,
Mm-hmm.
I will not sign a contract next year. That was my challenge to the parent. I was just that serious.
Yeah.
I worked until I retired. So
For real.
I was always successful. I'll say God was
Mhm.
always successful in those because I didn't know no better. I probably could have got in trouble even. I mean, I don't even know if I could get in trouble for because it still was up to the parent to say yay or
Right,
nay. But I
right.
never had a parent tell me no. They took their kids off.
I mean, because it's like, well, I've tried it this way, so why not?
Well, let's first start with some boundaries and stick and be consistent
And be consistent.
and make their
So,
consequences clear and concise and make them
right.
learn what the consequences all are and repeat them to you.
Very true. Very true.
If you
Repeat them.
if this behavior is the behavior you're going through, this is the consequence. The choice
Hmm.
is yours. And I taught, literally, I'm in the middle of teaching this very lesson to my grandson. Decisions and consequences. And consequences can be negative, consequences can be positive.
Yeah.
It's all based on your decision. What
Right.
decision? Choices.
Yeah. Very true.
And what are consequences? Outcomes.
Right.
So based on your choices, this is the outcome.
It's the
So
outcome.
let's first start. What kind of outcome do you want in this
Right. Because
situation?
that will determine what choice you make.
Mhm. No, so let's start. What do you want? Do you want to be with me at recess, lunch, and after school?
You like me that much?
Okay, if you don't, then you need to complete all
Yeah.
of your homework at home.
Yeah.
Do you need help? Have your mother sign on my because I communicated daily
Yeah.
with my parents. If we was having, well, I didn't have trouble, and I didn't send kids to the principal's office
Mm-mm.
because if I needed to call somebody, it was the parent. I never called the principal. I mean, if I called the principal, no, it was the front office because I'm sending them because they mama on their way. I had
Right.
everybody's number and they had mine.
Right. Yeah.
And
Because they're in my hands. They're in my possession. Yeah. I
and
get
as
it.
for I was mama, I was that teacher. If you having trouble on the playground, tell them they got to fight me, and if they win, then they can have at you. Until
We
then,
need we need more teachers like you, man.
no, I've retired.
Right. Like you done.
I'm done.
Huh?
Yeah. Hi,
That's so
tree.
good. That's so
Um,
good.
yeah, but back to that. I had full inclusion class. I had a phenomenal trainer in special ed when I went through um I had to do a teacher prep part of
Hmm.
it, and I had her name was Sharon Floyd. She was a phenomenal special ed teacher. And I mean, she had in her class, we had a special an autism class on this particular campus, which was Allison Elementary, which is the school that your mom and I and our sisters all went through
Back
back
back in
in
the
the day.
day.
But Sharon Floyd, when I had to observe her class, this woman she had the whole spectrum. She had nonverbal kids,
Wow.
stimming kids, kids who were high functioning. Um, but I saw her treat these kids, each and every one of them, with respect.
Mm.
And she too, that's who I learned that everybody gets a goal. And we expect them to reach the goal. Yes, Allison Elementary, honey. and and that's where I connected
Yeah.
with the community. Um, and I guess my niche has become a special ed because usually they're the ones who have IEPs or 504 plans, and most parents don't have the information to advocate for their child.
Right. So true. How can, like, okay, so what's a common, not misconception, but what's a common thing that people miss when it comes to having a child that needs special ed but don't know where to start? Like, what is the first step that you kind of see, like how to
Um,
navigate?
I believe that special ed is flooded with students who don't actually need to be in special ed.
Mm,
So it's not that I think if a child needs special ed, you'll know.
yeah,
You'll,
yeah, yeah.
those learning disabilities are um, they're prohibiting success in the classroom.
Mm,
But a lot of kids are in special ed because of behavior. Um, some are in special ed because a lack of attendance, so you've missed a lot of the instruction. But and those kids may need a 504 plan, but really what the family needs are resources. And that's
Hmm.
where I work with the community. And I'm that teacher who knocked on your door
Yeah.
unannounced. I don't know if I do it as much today. I probably would, depending, depending
Hey,
on what
you never know. God covers all.
But even back then, it was sketchy in some of the areas where I work. I just went
Yeah.
in. I just, like Mama said, old folks, babies, and fools. I just went and went unaccompanied.
Hey,
But
I'm
yeah,
here for a goal.
and I always ask, how can I help or what are your needs?
Hmm.
And usually people who have real legitimate needs will begin to talk and let you know I can't do this or and sometimes it's just um I don't like to say bad parent or uninformed parenting. Parents do what they know to do.
Right.
I mean, even my mom did what she knew to do.
Right. Right.
Um, and I remember her I couldn't do D. I mean, but think about it. D and B are common letters that kids get mixed up on the regular, right?
Yeah.
My mother would say, "Your middle name begins with T." And in my head, I think, but I wasn't crazy. I didn't say it out of my mouth. I would say, "Well, if I don't know what it is, how do I know my middle name begins with a D?"
Right.
But,
Right.
but parents do what they are equipped to do,
Hmm.
which is why after years of being a lone ranger and then realizing this is where it tripped me up. Um, the kids that I served would go to the next grade, and the next teacher literally, in some cases, would dismantle everything that I did.
Oh my
And I couldn't go in her room and say no, because like I'm a stickler about vocabulary, especially in math. I don't say 2 plus 2. It's to add to. You need to know what the operation is, and the sum is this. Don't tell me 2 plus 2 equals nothing. Don't do that.
God. Hmm.
And I would treat it as if they had broken the law. But they'd go to the next teacher, and the teacher would say, "Oh, it doesn't matter," but it does.
Hmm.
Because when you get in college, those are the terms they're using you get in high school, when you get in middle school. I remember in a first grade test, and I'll never forget this. I had my class, and the teacher was going to be absent, so I had to have their class. So we took the kids to the cafeteria, the auditorium at Allison, and I was monitoring as they were taking the state test. And there was one question, and it was this simple: what is the sum of 5 and 2? My students, the other class was like, and I so wanted to tell them the sum is the answer to an addition problem. But
Right.
I couldn't. It was a state test. That's when I really knew that vocabulary was important.
Yeah, because if they're not equipped to learn it to get it in their mind, and they never heard that word.
They never heard it. And I'm a stickler. My grandson, I homeschool him, but it's a hybrid. So he attends an online class.
Hmm.
Then I give him instruction because that teacher says, and my grandson is literally yelling at it's ad. But anyway, since I knew
I
that,
love your grandson too. That guy.
yeah, he a man. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. But since I knew that it could be undone, I did partner with
Yeah.
the parents. I did feel a need to equip the parents. So I literally would send vocab sheets. I call them cheat
Hmm.
sheets home with vocabulary
Hmm.
for math, for reading, whatever we're working on, for science, for social studies, whatever we're working on, I'd send it home. And it was a
Hmm.
part of the homework that they read it. And so parents had to be involved. So most of the time they they had to read it to the child because I chose to teach uh, first through third until later, where I was forced to go into fifth and sixth. But that's the formative years. People don't know that um, based on state exams, the state testing at third grade, that's how they determine how many prisons to build. People don't know that school pipeline to prison thing is a real thing. And it wasn't until I came to Texas where I actually saw it.
Wow.
It's a real thing. And I believe that
Crazy.
somehow they intentionally don't educate certain kids in certain areas in order to profit
Right.
later
In order
on
to profit what the main goal.
what their main goal is.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so how do you or how can someone that kind of sees the signs of their child um not really catching it quick, I guess
Hmm.
I would say, how
Hmm.
can you tell someone or how can you what can you tell someone to lead them to finding that person? How do they find them to get help? How do they find you?
Oh, I'm after you in this particular situation. If you're looking at special ed, I'm
Mm-hmm.
who you call after you have. Well, you can call me before. I'm gonna take that back because you may need help formulating the letter. So, what I will tell you, if you feel like your child is struggling in any area, any subject, to write a letter to the teacher. And I said, write. It can be an email, but
Mm-hmm.
write. Don't talk to. Put it in writing. Make sure it's dated. If you send an email, it's automatically dated by the system when you sent it and when they got it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
put it in writing, and within 30 days, your child has to be request testing. Just if you think your child is having some disability and you can't quite figure out what it is,
Mm-hmm.
have them tested. And there is a testing, which I don't really, there's testing in it established that they will administer, and they must administer that testing 30 days, within 30 days of you writing uh, the request. If they don't, you really call me.
You're gonna take it to the higher up.
You call me. And then I'll say this to any parent, whether your child is struggling academically, socially, or behaviorally. When you go to those meetings with
Mm-hmm.
anyone other than, or more than, I'll say, not other than, more than the teacher, if the principal is going to be there, or an admin, I was the admin designee. And so I
Mm-hmm.
sat in on all IEPs, 4 or 5 plan meetings.
Mm-hmm.
The school nurse, school psychologist, the district, special ed, anything that's going to be in a meeting regarding your child, never go alone. Always have a always have an advocate. And an advocate, if you can't afford to pay for one,
Mm-hmm.
call me. Just call. Call me. I still work in California. It's a
Right,
shame.
right, right. I got
Um,
some resources.
um, but always take an advocate. An advocate could be a family member, but make sure it's an adult, oh,
Yeah.
someone over 18. Um, then get something in writing. Get something in writing, whatever they are saying they're going to do, even if it's not a formal 405 plan or a IEP. Make sure you get something in writing based on what they said they're going to do for your child. If it's testing they say they're going to do, make sure you get that in writing. And you can simply do this: per our meeting on such and such a date, these were the things we discussed. I want to confirm. Girl, call me. I have a problem with that. I am an advocate at heart.
Yeah.
At heart. Yeah, I've been doing advocacies for probably 20 years, a little more than 20
Oh.
years now. Yeah, because I would look at what the system was doing to my students.
Mm-hmm.
You go to these meetings and the parents don't know, and they always sound like they're so concerned about Johnny. They they could be. Some of them could be, but really, I won't
Right.
say they're not. I won't say they're not.
Right.
They'll make you believe that everything that they're doing for your child is for your child's benefit. But
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time, none of it is actually based on your child's needs. It's a system. They get,
Right.
just like I did. I was in special ed because they knew I was having learning, struggles, disabilities.
Mhm.
They didn't know what it was, but they put me in speech. I've been talking like this since I was a kid. Ask my mama. They put, and I that's what I think. Why am I in speech though? Once you're in special ed, you got sent to everything. You had everything. Only thing
Why
I
am
did
I
was I
in
had
speech?
adaptive PE, but I might have. I just don't remember.
That was why am I in speech?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And I saw
That's
it
true.
in I saw it when I got into the classroom when I had students.
Yeah. I mean, because the parents don't know, but I think advocacy and advocating for someone that doesn't know is very crucial. But I think that a lot of people kind of this is what I think sometimes. Sometimes I feel like a lot of the parents are afraid to recognize or to say that their kid is having a little bit of challenge.
That it has, yeah.
Like it's okay.
Low key, I'm probably that parent. Low key.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, because I know, I've been in the shoes, and then I've seen, like, my daughter has auditory processing, and so does my grandson, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Her child also, auditory processing is not as, and he was getting in trouble at school, and he's
Mm-hmm.
very active. He's a very active child. I've been thinking about Ritalin, but no, I'm kidding. But he's a very active child. But I know how, as a classroom teacher, I would set boundaries and dare you to cross it, cross it, cross it,
Right, right.
cross it. And they didn't know how to handle him. They didn't. They did not know how to handle him. And so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna bring, yeah, I'm gonna bring him home and I'm gonna work with him before
Mm-hmm.
I kill his spirit because he's very creative.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah, yeah.
musically, um, he can draw like I've never seen. I
Yeah.
mean, oh, he's and they would have killed that in him. So I brought him home. But I don't want him in those classes. They were already starting to talk that talk. But I'm like, you just don't want to do the work and setting boundaries and doing some more work.
Yeah.
And so kids who have difficulty learning, the general ed teacher needs to first do some. And see, this is the other thing. There are tiers to intervention. And the
Mm,
first tier is classroom general ed intervention. It's basically differentiating your lessons to
mm,
meet the needs of the struggling student. It could be just as simple as, because certain kids get overwhelmed. It could be as simple as, instead of 20 problems on this scale, give them 5.
mm.
And as a teacher who's taught forever and who hates grading paperwork, 5 will do.
Right,
Honestly, because either you know
right.
the skill or you don't.
Yeah,
You're gonna
very true.
if you miss 3, you don't.
Yeah,
If you get 4 of them right, you do. You good.
yeah, yeah, true. It don't take all that.
It doesn't.
But again, that goes back with the teacher taking the time out to learn. You got read the room.
It's a basic educator skill is observation. It's not
Hmm.
taking, look, what is he doing? Make a jot down. You can have a post-it note.
Yeah,
Carry it
just
around on a
hmm,
clipboard.
hmm,
What is he doing? You
yeah,
know, Johnny is struggling with sentence structure. Just write that down.
hmm,
Never forgets conventions. Write it down and see. And it's on the sticky note. And then the next day, you give them this because you should be covering a skill for at least a week.
right.
Um, Put a check next to it if he struggled the next day. Put a check next to it if he struggled on the same thing. Then
Mm,
okay, we have a problem right here. So how am
right.
I going to differentiate my lesson plan in order to meet that student's needs? But parents or people of parents, if you do not make yourself known at the school campus. Be nice, though. Be nice. Because teaching is overwhelming. It's the second hardest job on the face of the earth. The first
Yeah.
hardest is what? Parenting.
Mhm.
So, um, go advocate for your child. Make literally, even me, when I had those parents who showed up all the time with an attitude, I don't want you showing up in my classroom. I don't, because you're disrupting my peace and
Yeah.
my structure. So what I'm going to do is everything that I can do so that you don't have to show up anymore.
Hmm.
And that's what a good teacher would do. A not so good teacher is going to make up every excuse. Your child is this. All of a sudden, when you show up, if all of a sudden, when you start asking questions about your child's success, the teacher starts saying, "Oh, he was disruptive in class today," and you didn't get that message before, you know what kind of teacher you're working with.
Right.
If all of a sudden he's getting in trouble, he's missing recess, and yeah, you've got a teacher who really doesn't want, you can ask to switch classroom or you can hold that teacher accountable, but you have to do it in writing. And I do it to the teacher and then CC the principal. You ain't getting no traction, CC the superintendent.
Hmm.
This is the key parents.
Right.
If you want something to change, go to the district. The principals do not want you to go to the district. And I learned it by accident. I learned as a teacher I wanted something for my class. And, I just went straight to the district innocently asking if they had this particular, I can't remember what it was, had this particular whatever I wanted to do because I did the most.
Hmm.
And the principal called me into his office and reprimanded me. He goes, "You never go to the district. You always have to go through me first." And I was like, "Oh, really?" But I liked the way that he moved. He was like, "No, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that." And
Yeah.
so when the air conditioning wasn't working, I called a special I always ended up with a couple of special parents
Hmm.
who are always like there. Called the district and tell them the air conditioning isn't working at our school. Got fixed just like that.
Yeah.
Parent calling the district is a they gonna jump. They gonna jump through hoops.
That's the key. Call the district. Go to the high ups.
Go. There's always someone higher up.
It's always someone higher up. Jocelyn, thank you so much for gracing the stage. I definitely appreciate it. I think this is like key information because a lot of things that I didn't even know. And I'm sure other parents are super grateful that you spilled it, like you let them know what's up. Like I'm just you're all right with me.
Girl, this is my area. So recap. Special ed,
Mm-hmm.
put it in writing. Anything you see, put it in writing and ask for the teacher to do something. Never go and complain about anything without an ask. That's also very important. Even when you go to the district, always have your complaint and have an ask. Otherwise, they're just going to be shaking their head like, "Oh, okay, I'm so sorry to hear it."
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Two, whenever you have these meetings regarding your children, always have an advocate with you. It could be a family member, but always have someone with you in those meetings, preferably someone who knows something about it. If you don't, then give me a call. Um, and third, advocate for your kid. And if you get a couple of parents together, you can run the school. Run
Child.
the school. Get everything you need. And don't
Okay.
ever let them tell you they don't have the funding because they do.
You heard it here first. Live and in living color. Period. I love it. Thank you. I am those are like great nuggets. I'm going to recap that and I'm yeah, that's going to be your snippet. So I'm letting you know now. That is going to be the snippet for the show because I think that that is very important and I think those are very key points that people need to know. For real, for real. Always have an advocate, huh? My God. The Lord is our advocate, so why can't we be our children?
Won't he do it?
He fights for us.
Yes, he will.
Woo! Thank you again. I love you so much.
I love you more.
I love you. Gabe's gonna put you in the back. We about to end the show and we out of here because you gotta go to bed. Yo, I told y'all this is an educational show too. Like we helping y'all out in every area of your lives, from the rooter to the tutor. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. I'm gonna say it every single episode because y'all ain't got to tune in and see what we're talking about at all. So I am very grateful. All right, so let's get into the church announcements. Now this is the church announcements, okay? Because I don't know what I was saying at the beginning of the show. Church announcements. If you have a disability, medical condition, if you have a professional in if you are a professional in the special needs disability community department, or if you know someone, or if you're an essential caregiver, any one of them, and you think that you want to be a guest on the show, you think you'd be a great fit because you already see how my guests are. Like, we all talked here. Let me know. Holla at me. Holla at your girl when you see me on the street. Now, here's the thing. Don't be coming to me telling me that you ran into the wall, you stubbed your toe on the corner of the bed, your elbow itch, and you got a little rash. You just learned you got chicken pox at 32. What that got to do with me? What that got to do with me? Child, we need some real life stuff. Okay? Like real life. Period. Yeah, holla at me. Also, Live Church announcement. Next week, let me tell y'all, next Tuesday, we are live in living color. And not only that, I am going to be on this show for my birthday because my birthday is the 30th. But because I love y'all so much, I'm going to be on with y'all. Come on. And my guest for next week is going to be dope too. It's not going to be me because y'all know I can't talk that long by myself. But y'all tune in next Tuesday, April 30th, on my birthday. We live in 11 color. I love y'all so much. Y'all already know what to do. Don't log off because there's a message. Why am I going away? There's a message that I need y'all to hear. All right, we all gave you know what to do. No. I love y'all. Period. And y'all better love me too. Alright. Get me out of here. Y'all ain't know what to do. Until next time. Love you.